Okay.
Hang on. That's not right. That
Oh,
doesn't look good.
flare.
Oh, there we go. That's better. I don't know what scene I was on then, but it wasn't. Going to have to change the background of the Destined because it's overlapping too much. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Spelljammer has been put to one side, and the faithful, the holy trinity of the group, as I like to call them, have progressed over. And what we're going to do now for the rest of every Saturday night, what we do is that we do one game, we rotate the games round and we play, and then anybody from the group can either stay or join or move around or whatever as we move through the game. So we're going to be playing Destined for a while, it came out very new for Mithras, and it's a game about superheroes, as you can tell. And then we'll be going on to M Space, which is Mithras in space, where we have guns, etc., etc.
Mithras in space.
Yeah. And then we'll probably play some Mithras or something else. We don't know. But we know that the next two are definitely going to be Destined and then M Space. And we've got a bit of an adventure to finish off that we started to play. And then we'll do a full adventure. So once this adventure is finished, we'll do another one before we move off into M Space. And yeah, like I say, if any of the crew wants to come back, then they are always most welcome. So before I give a brief synopsis and talk about some of the rules that we might have forgotten, I'm going to allow the players an opportunity to say who they are, and more importantly, who is their hero that they're playing today. And I'm going to speedily move straight across to Mr. Pickles.
I'm Mr. Pickles, and I'm playing Rabbit, real name Lily Alex. She, of course, is human. She is a brawler of sorts, but she has the power to go really, really fast. Everything she does is fast. She punches fast, she runs fast, she reacts fast, she heals fast. Everything about her is
She eats fast.
She does. She has a hyper metabolism, which is just she has to eat frequently and fast. She isn't terribly strong. She's very quick and everything, but she's not terribly strong. She's not a very big person. So she utilizes an extendable quarterstaff to get a little bit more leverage in combat when she really needs to be fighting with more strength. She comes from a rural background, but she's been acclimating to the city. So she has a little bit of knowledge of the criminal underground. And other than that, she's got to go fast. So I'm going to quickly toss this on over to Medivac.
Why, thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. I'm Medivac, and I play Sophia Sampson. She's a bit of a socialite. She lost her parents at a very young age in an accident in a car. But her father was a lawyer. Now she's a lawyer, following his footsteps. And she's a damn good lawyer too. She knows a lot about criminal law, law enforcement. She also knows a little bit about the underground, but not that much. Just, bits and pieces, because she needs to know with a job, obviously. But by night, she's known as Misty. You can see her sometimes flying in the sky with little droplets of rain behind her as she flits from place to place. She has the power to control moisture, water, mist, hence the name Misty. And with that, she can, like I say, she can fly. She can create a shield around herself to protect her. She can create things out of the water, to confuse people. And she can also make blasts of water hit people, and she can make those very strong, so they'll even pierce armor. Yeah, I think that'll do for now. So with that, I shall pass on to Captain Kangaroo.
Hey everyone, Captain Kangaroo. Today I'm playing Banner. He is the pinnacle of the American dream. He's all buffed out, super sexy in his outfit, and he's there to just beat the crap out of all the drug dealers, the evildoers, the commies. He's able to, kick everyone. he's really there to show evil Liberty's fist. But we'll see what he can do. I'm still kind of working on his powers, but I think I'm pretty much have a general idea of what he can do. Definitely there to tank it up for the rest of them so they can do the damage, or in Rabbit's case, just be a giant distraction. From there, I'm going to pass the microphone to our GM in Wells.
I have to say, Medivac, I like it that you've got a misty aura around you on your webcam. I don't know whether or not it's or you've just sort of like got a fingerprint on your camera. Yeah, right. Okay, then. So if you would like to support the players, I'm very prepared. I've written down what I need to say because I always forget everything. So please remember that you can support the stream in any way that you can, and we are always very grateful for that. Following the channel or hanging out in chat. Don't forget you can also clip any exciting moments that happen, and of course you could subscribe to the Twitch channel or throw bitties at us. And if you would like to support your favorite player or character, then you can actually give them luck points. And luck points are something that allows the players to change their dice rolls or roll again. It's that opportunity when things have gone dreadfully wrong to turn it back round and become to make it look heroic. By donating 100 bitties or £1 you can give a luck point to the character of your choice. Also, do remember that if you would like to see some behind the scenes of all the campaigns that we do, then we do have a Ko-fi site that you can go along and become a member of, or the old-fashioned Patreon account is still up and running. And in those, you can have a look at the organizations or behind the scenes, what I can see and what the players can see on World Anvil, as well as higher ups tiers. You can also see my adventure notes straight after the adventure has finished. So coming back to the game, I would just like to remind players and you watching the stream about some things. I can't remember whether or not we talked about these last time, but just to remind you. So remember that we have something known as COP alerts, COP alerts. Now, these are sent to a mobile device of your liking. It's whatever you want. You know, if you're rich, you might have the top iPhone type of phone. If not, you know, you might have a Nokia somewhere, and that's what you'll use. But with the crime getting more in Metro City, the police force, who is often corrupt, have started a program known as COP, and that stands for Citizens Observe and Protect. And on the free app on the mobile device, anybody can report a criminal activity in their area, and the authorities can issue warnings to steer clear of any dangerous situations, while also increasing response time for emergency services and law enforcers, but also local heroes and vigilantes. So remember, you will have, all three of you will have some kind of mobile device that is able to access these COP alerts. The other thing that I would like to remind you about is that we generally run a non-lethal campaign. So in the last adventure, I was really worried that Banner was smashing people's heads open, if you remember, on the side of curbs, etc. So generally,
Tough love.
Yeah, so generally what happens is that if they are general street gangs, then one successful hit doing damage will probably take the person out, or they will flee. Next level up is probably henchmen, and they will need 2 hits. However, villains are exactly the same as you. They have the same actual hit dice and the hit points and the armor, etc., etc. So with those, they will have specials just as you have. The normal everyday thugs will not have specials at all. And on that point, just before I do a quick recap, I would just like to talk to you about wounds, because wounds are slightly different in Destined compared to Mithras. So remember, just the same, minor wounds are from your positive hit points into your negatives. So as long as you've in positive, then you will have your you will have a minor wound, cuts and bruises. Serious wounds are below your hit points, but not as near as your negatives. For these, you will make an opposed roll of your endurance check as normal. If you succeed, then you can just carry on as normal. Okay, if you fail, then your limb or whatever is unusable, but it's not ripped off. And finally, incapacitated is your negative hit points or more. So in Mithras, that would be arm ripped off, head screwed off its neck, etc., etc. But you will just incapacitated. So we're true heroes. That, of course, if you wish to say to me, no, I am going to pull this villain's head off, or, you know, whatever you want to do, then that's absolutely fine. But generally, you won't die. People will just be injured, and then that's it. Okay.
All I'm trying to say, and that's one thing I want to suggest in this, is that with this, like, maybe we are overpowered, and maybe we just forget, you know, even in the system, empathy is a superpower. So that just means we could probably all be sociopaths, because it takes we'd have to get that PowerPoint to have simple empathy.
Yeah, I didn't choose that.
Right. So let me tell you briefly what's happened before. The party have been hired by a high-flying corporate boss called Jack Stone. They were hired because it had come to his attention that some illegal drug or steroid or something might be being leaked out onto the streets that could have disastrous consequences. The party set off to a lab when they found that the lab was completely deserted, but they did find a number of files while they were there. Some of them seemed to be talking about something to do with strength and things like that. The other ones seemed to be talking something about persuasion or seduction. The parties looked through this and were heading back when they suddenly caught a cop alert from a person that was on top of a building about to throw himself off. And to their shock, they found that it was Jack Stone, their current employer. Wow. So they rushed back. I think Rabbit got him away from the edge. Misty descended from a cloud and started to talk really nicely to the law enforcers and the medics and the what do you call the police that talks people down from suicides?
Negotiator.
Is there a negotiator? Yeah.
We call it in America, we like to negotiate suicide.
Yeah. So and you talk to them, but Banner at that point was a bit slow. He's redone his character. So anyway,
a little bit.
He was running, I think. I don't think he was even in his Honda Civic at that point. But
he lifted his Honda Civic above him.
Yeah.
And carried it through traffic.
And he was stuck in traffic, so he lifted his Honda Civic above his head. That is full of old pizza boxes, etc. And there was lots of social media camera flashes at this great feat of strength. Rabbit rushed down there, super fast Rabbit, and we said that we would start the adventure from this point. Misty, you're still on the roof with that encounter going on, but we'll come back to you once I know what Rabbit and Banner are doing. So, Rabbit, you're dashing down the freeway or the road system across the pavement, dodging out of cars and everything. And in the distance, you see Banner in the middle of a traffic jam. And you see him from the distance, and he gets out of the Honda Civic, closes the door, and then lifts this Honda Civic above his head. And you can see at that point that there's cameras coming out of car windows, and people are amazed, and there's some girls swooning, or girls and boys swooning in there, and so like looking at his great feat of strength in his Star Banner outfit. And yes, Rabbit, that is when you arrive. You're first on scene. What would you like to do?
I would run right up to Banner. Like well, the car still has some width to it, I guess, even though it is just a Honda Civic. But I'm going underneath like the car. I'll go right up to him and say, "Okay, we have a big problem. I think the nerve agent was being used on Jack Stone. That's why he was trying to jump off the roof. It was really a struggle to get him to not jump off. He really wanted to do it, and then all the cops came, and I just freaked out. And now I'm here. We need to go somewhere and figure this out fast."
The who agent? The travel agent?
No, the nerve agent at the lab, the one that we figured all the things about. We went through all the tests and everything. We threw the papers all over the place as we read them.
Banner will find like an empty area to place down his car.
Yeah.
Now who? The nerve. Quick, rabbits.
Do you want to put it down in the middle of the road, or do you want to carry it over to the something that resembles some kind of parking?
Parking. I'll put it on the parking.
Yeah. Okay, then. So you move it over to one side, and yeah, there's some really active camera flashes, and there's a lot of clapping as you put the car down. And yeah, and then what would Banner and Rabbit like to do?
Quick, rabbit, this way.
Where are we going?
Where we're supposed to go.
Okay, well, we need to go somewhere where we can figure out what's going on, because if this starts happening, a lot more people are going to be jumping off roofs, and I can't save everybody at all times. Banner, we have to think about this. Once Misty's done dealing with the police and they're going to ask questions, then we'll have to find some place to go where we can all talk about this and figure out the next plan of action.
I have no idea, but I'll be there to save America. Try.
Okay, good. We'll meet at the location, our HQ.
You will be there to save Metro City.
Metro City, sorry.
Yeah. We're not in America.
Metro.
Okay then. So are you heading back to Misty's apartment? I think that's where
Is that our HQ?
I think that's where you went last adventure. Am I right, Misty?
That's right. Yeah, we did stop there. So yeah, that's the HQ, and that's where I'm going to sprint off to.
I'm going to grab something from the back of my trunk and place it on me. And then I'll follow Misty. Not Misty, to Rabbit.
Rabbit, yeah. So Rabbit, you can go really, really fast, and Banner, you have a new way of traveling now, don't you?
Yeah, I'll start kind of like a running start, and then I'll kind of do a quick takeoff and start and pretty much bound all the way up towards the sky.
Yeah, so you can sort of like jump high up and then around as a form of traveling as you go from one place to the other. And you can land it, and at times if you don't get the surface correct, there's a little bit of a dint left in the ground.
All I can imagine now is the Eric Banner Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll just colour him green later on, and then that's it. So, Misty, let's go back to you, because you were really in charge on the top of the building, and you had talked to the negotiator and the police, and The paramedics had arrived, if you remember.
That's right. They and I explained to them that he was under the influence of something that, and they were going to take him for bloods and things. If
Yeah,
memory serves me.
and
But
yeah, go for
when I
it.
mentioned the drug, there were 2 police officers. I watched this, remember?
Yeah.
And they looked a bit shifty.
Yes, they did. You picked that up with your perception roll and insight.
Insight, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'd like to, well, basically, I'm going to talk to everybody there and say, this man is very important. Where are you taking him?
Who would you like to? Are you talking to the paramedics, the police,
Yeah,
negotiator?
I'll start with the paramedics first.
Yeah, they sort of like, they seem to be busy, sort of like putting in lines, and one of them is holding a saline solution bag up, and they sort of like said, we'll be taking him to Metro District Hospital.
Which hospital?
That's what it's called, Metro District.
Oh, sorry, no, you actually stopped.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metro District Hospital.
Okay, wonderful. Could we make sure there's security around him at all times?
And he sort of like, the police sort of like hearing this sort of says, do you want us to go with him, Mom?
Is this the 2 that were looking a bit?
Yes, they seem to be quite. They sort of like step forward to present.
Yes. Well,
themselves.
in which case, I'll drift closer to them.
Yeah.
And I want to get their badge numbers. Just look on their beyond their shoulder.
Yeah, that's quite easy to do.
So I'll get both the badge numbers, and I'll say, yes, if you could do that, that would be wonderful. I will contact Mr. Stone's legal team, and they will send a representative across.
Got ya. And they say, we can protect him. We can protect him. And the paramedics sort of like look around and sort of like, they seem to be a bit concerned that 2 police constables law enforcers might be coming into their ambulance, but they sort of like say, one of you can ride up front and the other one could be in the back. And just at that moment, the door to the roof, if that makes sense, you'll come up the stairs and through the roof, opens, and a rather, how can I, this, the comment or the saying, pulled through a hedge backwards. You get that idea. This almost like
shriveled.
Yeah. It seems to be, from what you can tell, she was probably dressed in some kind of business attire, not high end, maybe something a bit like a secretary. Or something like that. She's wearing glasses. She's got a pencil skirt on, a blouse, but all her hair's messed up, and her blouse is untucked. And you notice that she's stumbling on her high heels as she comes out, and she sort of like frantically looks around, and then she sees Jack Stone on the stretcher. And she sort of like cries out, Mr. Stone! And she sort of like comes hobbling over and sort of like crouches down, very ladylike, because she's got a pencil skirt on. She sort of like crouches to one side, and she sort of like looks at him and turns round to the paramedics and says, is he going to be all right? Paramedic says, he'll be fine, miss, don't worry. Oh no, I hope he will be all right. And she looks at you, Misty, and she sort of like says, who are you?
Oh, hello, my dear. I'm Misty. And who might you be?
I'm Mr. Stone's personal secretary.
Oh, and your name is?
Lucy May.
Lucy May.
And your name is?
Misty.
And at that point, she almost like searches around as if she's very familiar carrying a notebook and pen, but then finds that she doesn't have it with her. And she just sort of like says, I will make a mental note.
please do, as we do work for Mr. Stone.
You work for Mr. Stone?
Hmm.
Do not
Something to-
seem familiar to me.
Something we'll discuss at a different time and place.
And she sort of like looks and she says, "Where is he going?"
He's going to Metro District Hospital.
Oh,
It seems he's imbibed something that's made him do things he didn't want to do.
and she sort of like looks around and she says, "So who locked me in the cupboard?"
You were locked. You should have started with that, my dear.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Who locked me in the cupboard?
I do not know. We've been on the roof this whole time. What happened? Explain to us. What
I was just working outside Mr. Stone's office. The front door was burst. I got up and went across and said, "Hello?" And well, that's the last thing I know. And then I woke up in this state in a cupboard. If it wasn't for that nice police constable walking by and her hearing my knocking, I might have been trapped in there forever.
Who was first to the scene up here?
Ask him, please.
Yes.
Yeah, the call came over the cops, the COP alerts that there was a jumper, and there was also some kind of betting going on whether or not he would or wouldn't, and there was a sweepstake doing, and so the police actually arrived on scene. The two policemen up with you at the moment, and the negotiator were first on scene. Yeah.
No, right. That's yeah. Okay. And does your office have any security, any cameras?
She sort of says, "Yes, of course it does, but I don't." She sort of like looks you up and down in your lycra or your polyweave armor, and says, "I'm sorry, I have never seen you on the payroll."
No, you haven't.
I really need to go with Mr. Stone.
But by all means, I'd be quite happy if you're there with him. Ask one of the. I'll tell one of the police constables that have got in there to make room for her and get out. And he only needs one officer or constable in there.
Yeah, so they get Jack onto the stretcher and they start to take that down. And you notice that his personal secretary is sort of like holding his hand at one point, and the paramedics just said, no, please just leave that. And she sort of like goes, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I hope Mr. Stone's okay." "He'll be fine, Mom. Don't worry, he'll be fine." And they sort of like go down towards the waiting ambulance down at the front of the building. So yeah, Misty, you've got the police negotiator, one of the shifty police constables, and you on the top. What's going to be your next form of action? What would you like to do?
To be fair, I don't want to. I've got the badge number of the numbers of the two officers.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to give anything more away that I know that they've done something shifty.
Got you.
With whatever that will be. So I will turn to them and say, remember, I will be sending Mr. Stone's legal person,
Aide.
to see him. So please make her name is Miss Sampson.
Right. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Oh,
yeah.
See what I did there?
You did, yeah. So it'll be you. Mr. Stone's legal. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And with that, I shall up and away.
Okay then. And probably heading back to your base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you arrive back to find Super Banner and Rabbit. Rabbit's probably raiding your fridge and
Called
taking.
panic eating.
Yeah.
I'm brainstorming.
She's bulking. She's putting on. She's bulking
I'm
up.
fat up thin. I'm fat up thin.
Yeah.
Oh, hello there, Misty.
Banner, I'm glad you made it.
You missed it. Rabbit here found a nervous agent, and that's causing people to jump off buildings.
A nervous agent.
No, Banner, this is entirely wrong. What I'm saying is that we found out that there's a nerve agent from the laboratory that we were all at.
Yes, the
like,
nervous
the
one.
other night.
He's not very confident.
Yes, that's very, very true, Banner. The nerve agent from the labs has been used to infect Mr. Stone. And if Rabbit didn't get there in time, he would have surely jumped.
Fantastic job, Rabbit.
Well done, Rabbit.
Misty.
Thank you, but there's more problems.
Misty, your work phone is ringing.
Okay. I shall pick up my work phone.
Yeah, and as soon as you pick it up, you hear.
Hello, Sophia Sampson.
Hello, is this Mr. Stone's legal officer?
It is, yes. Who's calling?
This is the negotiator who tried to talk him down before some heroes arrived.
Oh my, is he all right?
We are somewhat concerned about his safety.
I
And-
suppose, right. Explain more, please.
And he says, "One moment, I'll disconnect video." And he connects the video. You don't see him. You see a door. And the camera is focused on the door. And you see one of the other police constable, the law enforcer that was there, open the door. It seems to be almost like some kind of cleaning cupboard. And in the cleaning cupboard, there is a woman
Oh, it's Lucy.
who has been knocked out or stunned. The negotiator says it was some kind of a taser hit. And you notice that she doesn't look familiar to you at all, Misty. This is the first time you've seen this woman. And the camera turns back to the negotiator's face and says, "This is Claire Revel. This is Mr. Stone's personal assistant."
Oh dear. And that, why are you telling me this?
Well, we're somewhat concerned about his safety.
Why?
We wanted, well, we saw...
Sorry, let me stop there and just go through what I don't know, or I pretend not to know that Lucy May got on the, because I don't know that, do I? Because I'm not there. I wasn't there. Lucy May.
Yeah, the law enforcement. Your Miss Sampson was not there.
No, that's right.
But they seem to be getting in touch with you to bring you up to date legally. They seem to be ranting on or telling you that legally they allowed Mr. Stone to leave in an ambulance. There was a guard with him, and they're almost like, it seems that they might be worried that a blame could be put onto them. And so they seem to be sort of like saying, it wasn't our decision. We put a police officer in there. We don't know who this other woman is. Because
I see. There's another woman in there.
Well,
Right.
the the woman who's been tasered and kept in the cupboard is the real personal
Secretary.
assistant.
Right.
So
Did this woman who got on the transport then say that she was his secretary?
Yes,
Oh,
but
my.
she is obviously, they can confirm 100% that this assistant in the cupboard that's been knocked out is the real personal assistant.
Do you have a track on where the transport is now?
They said that they could ring into the emergency services, but we just want you to understand, Miss Sampson, that we did everything that we could. We put a guard in there. It really wasn't our decision to.
It's fine
to let her go.
Look,
there was this lycra-clad woman who agreed to it. So really and truly, blame firmly lands, legally, of course, lands on her rather than us. It wasn't really our decision.
Well, strictly legally speaking, the blame actually is with you, because the lycra-clad person really has no authority in that situation.
Tell me.
As a negotiator, you are possibly the highest ranked person on that scene and should not be taking orders from anyone.
I'm assuming that you have some kind of
I have some
law role. So what I would like you to do is roll your influence that you can augment with your law. So do you have the augment button up at the top anywhere? Oh yes, you do.
Yeah, there we go. And in influence, so is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the right one, isn't it? 20. Right. Let's see if this works. I'd say that works.
Yeah. So you beat. It's just an easy roll here. So you get the crit over this negotiator, and he sort of like says, well, yeah. Well, we'll get our legal team to contact you as soon as possible, Miss Sampson.
Please do, but in the meantime, find the location of that transport, and I will contact the lycra-clad person, and they will be in touch.
Okay, yeah. And he sort of like mutters, yeah, we'll do all that we can, Miss Sampson, and ends the call.
Click off. I'll relay all this to Rabbit and to Banner. We need to find this transport as soon as possible. The lady who got on, who, in all fairness, I asked to escort Stone, but is not his secretary.
How did you
So
know?
you're suggesting we help the escort?
Yeah, do you want to know, Captain? You will not be able to keep this voice up forever. I just know you won't be able to.
The worst thing is, I've started watching the Tick. And that's all I can think of when you do the voice.
What? The what?
The Tick.
Oh, right.
I'm the Tick.
Yeah.
So plan of action then. Heroes.
I think we need to find out where this transport was going. It said it was going to the Metro District Hospital, and I can't see why the pilot. Was it a helicopter, wasn't it?
Yes, they put it into a helicopter, and then
I can't see why the pilot would deviate from that course. So we need to get to the hospital as soon as possible.
Is the hospital that way or that way?
Everyone does. Everybody roll an insight roll.
Oh, that's not going to be very beneficial.
My streetwise probably wouldn't help me here, would it?
Correct. It won't at the moment.
I don't know how that happened.
So Misty's made it. Banner's made it, which is quite unbelievable. Rabbit, you've got a 26. Do you wish to roll luck or not?
Well, I probably shouldn't, but you know what? I'm going to use the first of 6 luck points to reroll.
Jesus Christ.
6. I forgot you had that many.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just out of interest, I was reading a Mithras article or discussion on the Discord that says that in some campaigns they allow you to go into negative luck points, but when you go into negative luck points, I get the look at the GM, but anybody gets the look. So not just those powerful characters, you know, the toughies. I don't like it because I think I like the limitations on luck. So I'm going to give you, each one of you have a certain piece of information that you gain from your insight roll. Okay, so Rabbit, you obviously do not get your piece of information. So Misty, your piece of information is as follows. That this Lucy May character could be connected to the death attempt on Jack Stone. You can't guarantee it, but it seems logical, and all she would have to do is inject or, you know, suffocate or kill or shoot Jack Stone while in the ambulance, on the heli ambulance. On a positive, you did put a shifty police person in there as well. Banner, you know from your soldier and military days, you know that all emergency vehicles, whether or not they will be helicopters or ambulances, ground-based ambulances, are all tagged. They have automatic transmitters in them that relays to a control room. So the control room can actually tell where everything is at any one time. This is mainly used in order to get the nearest ambulance of any to the location.
Would I know where the control room is?
Well, the control room is housed centrally, and in Metro City, these control rooms are connected within hospitals. So the emergency call would go to a standard office first. They would say almost like a central office, and then they would say which service do you require, and then if they need an ambulance, it's then forwarded on to the Metro City District Hospital, and they then decide which ambulance to take out. It all used to be all in one, but Metro City has got too big and too dangerous for that. They would be swamped. So the fire is separate from the police, which is separate from the ambulance. And all those, just for future reference, are housed in the main fire station, the main police station, and the main hospital. And the hospital in this is Metro District.
Would I be able, could I roll navigation to see if I know where the Metro Hospital would be located?
So I assume everybody knows places in Metro City. What you can roll your navigation for, if you wish, is to see the quickest way to get there.
Typically, I would imagine is be jumping there.
Yeah.
I'll roll navigation, see if I can just like jump a few buildings.
Yeah, that's cool. You might want to just quickly decide what you're going to do right before Banner. You just jump off in a random way.
I think the simplest option is for Banner and I to run as quick as we can to the hospital on the ground floor, get up to the roof. That way we can try and stop whatever's happening in the helicopter when it lands. And Misty, if you can fly after it, maybe you can stop it mid-flight. We're the backup plan, you're the main plan.
Indeed, that sounds like a very good idea, Rabbit.
Whatever Rabbit said, sounds great to me.
We will go with that. The only problem is we need to know where the helicopter is as well, in case it decides to go elsewhere.
So, Banner, roll your navigation.
Roll my navigation. Time to roll the vacation.
Oh! So, Banner sort of like says, map, I need a map. And there's one that is brought up on the table that, would it be paper, Misty, or electronic?
Electronic. It would be a display on the table, which is
Yeah,
a
and
workstation as well.
and Banner's just sort of like
Very fancy.
grabs like a plastic ruler and sort of like plots out, and then he draws a line from the location that has been naturally put in about Jack Stone's place of work, his offices, and he draws a direct line to Metro District Hospital. And Banner, you then say to Misty, you know, you can say what you want, but that you think is the direct course.
I think this would be the fastest way there, as long as we're straight in our determination.
That's
That's a weird way to phrase that, but I think
well done, Banner. That's
Quick to the roof.
amazing drawing of a ruler.
So, Misty is
Well,
going to
perhaps right, just out of character for 2 shakes.
Yeah.
Does Misty know that Rabbit is? Do you have any computer skills?
I think our characters do have some backstory together.
Yeah.
We've done like a few adventures off
we've done
camera.
work, yeah, that's what I mean. We've done work
Yeah.
together. Yes.
No, you know she's a country bumpkin.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Well, maybe if you and Banner go to the hospital and do what you originally said, but then when you get to the hospital, go to the control room and find out where that flight is.
Yes, but I will have to stop at the cafeteria first.
What I will say is, Rabbit, my fridge is your fridge.
Well, that's good. So I put like a wrapper in.
Good job you didn't say
overflow
that to
garbage can.
Banner, because Banner would just lift up the fridge.
Yeah, so I think that's an ideal plan of action.
Okay, then. So Rabbit and Banner, you're heading to Metric District Hospital, yeah?
Yeah, I'll pretty much go up the stairs slowly, like double skipping up the stairways, get to the top, and then start bounding.
Yeah. So you're going to head in that direction,
Yeah.
and Rabbit, you're running as fast as you can. Misty, are you going to try to intercept the helicopter?
I'm going to go airborne. Yeah, I'm going to get to where it should be, and basically, at least if I'm there, and they tell me it's not there, I can go in whichever direction it is.
Okay, then. So you're a hero. And of course, heroes have the world around heroes have the ability just to slot into your way of working. You know, the chances of you finding this helicopter in another game, it might be rolled, or we might say no, but this, you are superheroes. The chance of you finding this helicopter is probably extremely lucky to find it, and that's the option that I'm going to give you. Give me a point of luck and you find the helicopter. Don't give me a point of luck and you don't locate it. That's what being a hero is all about.
Sacrifice,
You're not asking
Rabbit.
me. You're not asking
So-
me, are you?
No, I'm never asking you, Rabbit, because I've got take one.
What's that in the sky?
There's sort of like 26 left.
So how many luck points are in the piggy bank at the moment?
You do you mean you're also on the Kofi one?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2.
2.
So
may
you
have
could
to-
use one of those if you wish, and then it'll be
Indeed.
down to 1 until the end of the month.
Yeah, that'd be fine then.
Okay then. So yeah, you sort of like head off, and you see the helicopter in the distance. You're a bit shocked because it doesn't appear to be going on the route that it should be. So you're actually aiming, flying towards that straight line, but you get close and it seems that the helicopter is going off on an angle. It seems to be flying quite erratic as well. So
Right.
yeah, what would you like to do?
Comms to Rabbit and to Banner. Tell them the direction it's going. I'm going to try and take see if I can see any landmarks to point out to them, and I'll be specifically looking for food places.
Are you
See what I'm
texting this or are you
thinking?
calling?
Don't we have comms? I thought we had voice comms.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Is like,
I'm
is it
only on
voice
Twitter.
Or are you just texting us?
He's just on Twitter.
Banner, no, get off of Twitter.
Okay.
That's where all the smart things are said.
Yeah.
Roll your locale.
Oh.
What? Oh, that's okay. That is a thing.
Oh.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
The standard version
tell
of
you what,
Streetwise.
I'm going to use a point of luck because I must know. I should have put points in that.
Are you new to the city?
I must be.
How new?
No.
Okay, so you have a look around and you see the general direction of the helicopter where it's going, and you can't actually decide what heading it's going on, and this is what the locale rule was, not where it is, but you can't work out where it's going, which would have been the pride place for Rabbit and Banner to actually get there. It seems to be going off. It seems to be heading to the river that runs through Metro City, and it seems to be going to cross the bridges or cross the river into a more downtown area. 100% Misty, it is not going towards the helipad at the helicopter at the hospital. Yeah.
I'll relay this and set off after the helicopter.
Okay. So Banner and Rabbit,
Heading to the river.
you can change direction, or do you want to keep going? What's going to be your action? And then Misty will come back to you to see if you want to do anything with the helicopter, or whether or not you just want to follow it. So Rabbit and Banner, what Misty?
So this has been communicated to us that there's been a
So you're leaping, and you can see Rabbits ahead of you zipping in and out. And the comms comes round is that the helicopter is not heading towards the hospital. It is heading downtown across the river.
All right, I'll start heading that direction and start bounding towards there.
Okay, and Rabbit?
Yeah, I guess I'll look back at Banner, seeing him change direction after getting this comms, and I mean, we were supposed to find out where it was actually going at the hospital, but I don't know if I go there alone. So I'm going to go sprint after them, go in the direction comms have said.
Right. So you're now sort of like just heading to the river, to the nearest bridge or the nearest crossing point. So you have no idea where this helicopter is actually going, but you're just generally moving downtown. Misty, you're flying around after it. Is there anything that you would like to do?
Yes. You'll have to let me know if I can do this, though. I'm flying after it, but would it be possible to create a cloud that looks like an arrow?
Do you want to know? For a moment, I thought you were going to say that you wanted to put a cloud around the helicopter to reduce its visibility. But you want to do an arrow that sort of go.
Yeah.
So what power are you using?
Well, it would be creativity, wouldn't it? I think.
Your creation. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay then. So do you have to activate your creation to? Do you have to use power?
Creations, how it can manifest will points By spending 2 blah, blah, blah. Start again. By spending 2 power points, the hero can create objects up to the size. Oh, it's always power in size. So I could do it to size 16. How big would that be?
Well, if you can think, so size 16 would be almost like that of an average human
Oh, right.
lying down.
In which case, that wouldn't be very big, would it? Because
Uh,
if they can't see the helicopter, they're not going to see that, are they?
Yeah. But you will know where it lands if you bring it down.
Well, we'll go with that with the cloudy idea then, and put a fog bank around it as such.
Okay then. So what skill does you've got creation, haven't you?
Yeah.
And what does it default to? Are you a
That's willpower, isn't it?
is that where you get your it goes down to intelligence, and it's a concentration creation. So with a successful willpower, as an action. Okay then, so go for it. Roll your willpower. Hopefully you put scores into this.
Let's have a look. Did I put scores into this? Did I put scores?
Oh, yes. Yes, you did. Okay, then. So, tell me what it's going to be looking like.
So, literally, this mist will just envelop from the backwards, from the back of this helicopter, all the way around the front to envelop the screen at the front. And it will just undulate and weave around it just to maybe throw the pilot off a little bit. And every now and again, they'll get a glimpse as it opens up a little bit and then closes back again, just so they're not going to fly completely blind.
Yeah, and you notice that as you create this mist round, you notice that the helicopter is becoming really erratic. And you soon find that you're bringing it down. They're obviously looking for a place to land, and there seems to be. You can now see whereabout it's going. It looks like it's going to be landing in one of the park areas in downtown. Part because there's almost like grass there, but it's not a pleasant park at all. And there's often quite a few ruffians and illegals down there. But you can see now that it's coming down there. And you can quite easily relate this to Banner and Rabbit as it comes down. So so you bring it comes down and the helicopter lands. It's still got the mist round it. You're obviously there, Misty. Rabbit and Banner are changing direction, and obviously Rabbit will come first, then Banner. But Misty, you're on site. What would you like to do?
I want to maintain a distance, but not. Probably the best place to be would be right directly above the landed helicopter, because nobody's going to look up
Okay.
there. So I want to just literally above it while maintaining this veil over the.
Yeah. So that was my other question. Are you maintaining the misty cloud around it? Yeah. Okay then. So you sort of you notice that the rotary blades slow down and the tail ones slow down. And while you're sort of hovering above it, the side door opens, and stepping out of it through your mist walks one of the law enforcers. He seems to be almost like in a dream state. He seems to be stumbling around slightly. But just seems to walk out of the helicopter and just sort of starts to walk, and he just seems to be, he doesn't seem to be tense. He doesn't seem to be on, ready for things.
Is he moving the same way as Mr. Stone moved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just walks off. Make a perception check for me. Yeah, you do notice. You notice that it is one of the badge numbers that you took. But the second thing that you notice is that he doesn't have his gun belt on him. His
Right.
belt that would normally carry his pistol and his stun baton.
I'll relay this information to Rabbit and Banner so they're prepared, and maybe just to subdue him on the way in.
Yeah, is there anything else you would like to do? Rabbit, you will arrive shortly, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm still going to maintain my position up here.
Okay, then. So as you maintain your position, you notice that the pilot's door opens, and the pilot gets out and starts walking off straight away from the helicopter. You do notice that is something quite strange about it, because his headphones are still plugged into the helicopter as he gets out the door, and it sort of like keeps moving, and then all of a sudden the headphones just get pulled off his head. And you do notice on both the cases the door of the helicopter was closed.
Yeah.
But not by the person. Rabbit, you arrive in the park, and you can see that Misty is hovering above, and there seems to be an undulating vapor cloud around a helicopter that's revealing certain points of it at certain times. You can see walking directly opposite away from you appears to be a police constable, law enforcer, and walking directly off to your right, sort of like 90 perpendicular to you arriving. You can see the pilot. So you're coming, Rabbit, from the opposite door, side door, that what the officer left by. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and Misty's up at floating up above. So you sort of like skid to a halt. What's going to be the plan?
I will notify with comms or communication devices that Rabbit is on site, and just like the cops to be leaving. And so I'm going to just charge on over there. I want to open up and see what's inside as quick as I can.
Of the helicopter.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you have two options. You can either do the other door that goes into the cockpit, that you saw the pilot going out, or you could open the side door that goes into where the patient would be.
Where the patient
Remember,
would be.
she has a gun and a stun
Yeah.
button.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So like that comes over. Rabbit arrives, and Misty's on, like, says, "Be careful. She's got a gun and a stun button."
I worry about you, Rabbit.
I gotta go fast. I charge in, because if somebody has, if I get into close combat there, I think I can just start swinging maybe, and dodging.
Yeah. Okay then. So you open the side door of the helicopter, and you notice that inside there's what appears to be some kind of legal secretary there, crouching over your employer, Jack Stone. And at that point, I would like you to make me you need to make an opposed willpower check. And it's opposed by my willpower.
Well,
Okay, so
here it goes.
Nice.
Nice.
Not the worst I could do.
That's pretty good. Just to let you know, that is within my willpower. You can see that roll, can't you?
Yeah, the 42.
42. So she does succeed, and she succeeds over you because her score is higher. And as you open this door, this almost like wash of pheromones and scent comes out from it. It doesn't look like she doesn't throw anything at you. It seems to be almost like an inborn power that she can just send out this smell. And you open the door. Misty, you see this, and you see Rabbit open the door, and all of a sudden, Rabbit starts to gently sway. And Rabbit, you notice that the legal secretary pulls her glasses down over her nose and just looks at you and says, "Go away." And Misty, you notice that Rabbit turns and starts to walk away from the helicopter. At which point, the mighty banner goes roar bang down onto the grass. And you're on the same side, so you see Misty up above, and you see Rabbit open the things as you land down in your what is it called, that thing that Black Widow does. What's that? When
superhero landing.
Yeah, it's sort of yeah. Is that what do you do, or do you just sort of like land like the Hulk?
Yeah, of course I'll I'll just superhero land. Give myself some major knee issues.
Yeah, you sort of like, and you look up. So you go boom and land, and you look up, and Misty's concentrating on this vapor, and you notice that Rabbit just turns around and starts walking towards you. Misty, at this point, you see Rabbit coming out from your mist. It's quite nice, actually, because as she comes out of it, the mist sort of like swirls for a while around her before she gets out of it. So Banner first, and then you, Misty, what you would like to do. Okay?
Oh, so, hi, Rabbit. It's me, Banner.
Yeah. Hello. Roll your insight from.
I would so love to be able to just say cheeseburgers. As if that's where I'm going.
Yeah. So you sort of like look at her. She doesn't seem to reply to you. There's one major thing that you notice, and this is very strange for Rabbit to do. She seems to be walking.
I was going to say that she's walking normally.
Yeah, she's actually just walking. She's not running, and she seems to be looking up at the clouds. And Rabbit, in your mind, you seem to be walking through what seems to be a paradise setting for you. What would be Rabbit's paradise setting?
Probably a nice meadow.
Going down a walkable city street that's just everything's packed with different restaurants, and like the kind where you just go up to a stall and there's just everything, lights are flashing and all sorts of different smells, and I can't find one gosh darn cheeseburger. And I'm gonna find it eventually.
And there's loads of people sort of like going, free food, have this. And you just sort of like see it all, and it seems to be filling all your senses. It's not just visual. You can smell that food as well. And down at the end of your Paradise Road, you can see this massive cheeseburger restaurant that it's just got a blazoned over its logo on the front, says free cheeseburgers forever. All you can eat cheeseburger.
Impossible.
Yeah, so Rabbit seems to be in a Banner, almost like in a state of dreaming. What would you like to do?
Rabbit, are you okay? Did you use the restroom? Why are you coming over here?
She doesn't
go to the helicopter.
She doesn't reply to you.
I'll walk up to Rabbit and see if I can pick her up.
Yeah, you pick her up. She doesn't make any resistance or anything like that. You do notice that when you pick her up almost like, you know, in your two arms, you do notice that her legs keep moving as if she's walking, and she's not rigid or anything, Banner. She's just, you know, she's, you know, when somebody goes incredibly limp and becomes a little bit heavier, you can hold her. You've got super strength, haven't you? So, but you can see that she's totally floppy in your arms. Misty, you have seen this happening. You're still concentrating on your mist. What would you like to do?
I'm going to, on the comms, to Banner and say, Misty, Rabbit is compromised. She's
Oh yeah,
she's in there.
Rabbit is compromised.
It's the secretary, Lucy May. She's done something to Rabbit and to the other two. You need to stop her now. I will. I'll lower the fog.
All right.
And she's got a gun.
Oh, fine, whatever.
That's the spirit.
Whatever. It's a gun. Come on, guys.
It's a
gun.
Do I see? Do I try to do a perception check, see if I see the secretary?
What I'll do is I'll lower the mist.
Yeah. So you the mist dissipates and you can see the helicopter. You can't see in the back because the door is slid shut. You remember Rabbit actually opened it, and that's when the scent was given off. So yeah, you are still holding Rabbit as well. So Banner, if you tell me what you're going to do, then I'll decide whether or not we need initiatives.
Well, I don't want to compromise myself either, so I'll probably go in there, fists blazing. I'm just going to put down Rabbit, let her kind of just walk into. I'll probably put her in a direction that it's safe, that she's not going to walk right into traffic. And then I'm going to do a leap and going for the attack.
Okay, so you go open the door.
Oh, I thought she was outside of the helicopter at this point. Oh, just the people.
So Rabbit. So the pilot wandered off. The police constable wandered off. Rabbit ran up to it, opened the door. Something happened. Misty was up there, and Rabbit turned around and walked, and the door closed. So the first thing that you would need to do is open the door.
Yeah.
Banner is just looking at his willpower at the moment. I know what he's doing.
Banner will leap, land, and then tear open the door.
Okay, then. So make me a brawn check. You rip it open.
All right.
Is your brawn naturally enhanced because of your enhanced strength?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can like tear apart, like apparently I can lift like I think it's 2,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my point luck because that's embarrassing.
Yeah. So you.
My first chance is show.
Great navigator, not very strong.
Not very strong at all.
I'm better Google Maps than hammering.
Yeah, so you sort of like grab your hands on it and you give it a bit of a tug, and Misty, you see nothing happening for that quick moment, and Banner's eyes concentrate once again and goes like that and just pulls it off. Are you pulling and chucking or just pulling it?
I'll just pull and throw.
Okay, you pull it off and chuck it, and at that point, and you're not worried about this, I don't think. The person inside who's used one of her powers already actually uses her second power on you.
Build a door.
Say again, sorry. And she fires her pistol at you.
Not her superpower, the pistol.
I was going to say that's not a power.
I know. I was just trying to wind Banner up because I don't have I could use it, but not. I need to recharge my power.
You don't
That's
remember
right.
banding that around here, having a gun's a superpower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is possible actually. So my is that. Okay then. So she fires her pistol at you as you rip open the door, but initially you think she's missed. However, I'm going to use a point of luck to swap that round and make it 58, which means I've hit. What would Banner like to do after this? If we're still after this shot, because your action was to pull it off. This is my action, and then we'll roll initiatives at this.
Is there any way I can use what's on my forum right now to block it or no?
Do you mean your deflect ability?
Yeah, my deflect shield. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look under deflect, it'll tell you. So the hero takes a ready item action to produce the shield. So if you look at the link that I sent you around, that would be a normal action. The hero may draw an item from somewhere on their person or retrieve a drop thing. So you can use that action to oppose mine. That wouldn't be a problem. So that would get your deflected shield up and ready to block. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You're going to do. So we'll say it protects up to 3 locations. So if you decide which are the 3 locations, that is done by your shield. Just out of interest, do you have any boosts left?
I do. I have one. I try to figure out which one I want. I have my
because something like fast shield, the hero's shield springs into existence with a mere thought.
I've got that.
Yeah, the hero spends 1 power point to create the shield as a free action. If spent as part of a defensive reaction, the hero may create a shield as part of a parry. So if you want to...
Honestly, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, so that you would take up, so you would lose a power point. But now you can actually use it as part of a parry. So you need to roll your combat style, your combat skill with it now. So I've got a 50.
You also do a tower shield.
Yeah.
I do have that too. That's one of the ones I already have is tower shield.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, because I thought as me as the
I really like
of the group
ranged redirect as well. The hero is able to send a ranged attack back at its foe.
The foot's really cool.
Yeah, so take off 1 skill, 1 power point, and roll your combat skill with your shield.
Oh crap! I put on the wrong thing. Give me a second.
To parry it.
I have it on the wrong character sheet.
You have the wrong character sheet.
Because
the new character sheet looks so good, guys. It looks unbelievable. I transferred Bartleby into the devs room about it because it's so nice talking to the person who actually created it and testing it. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's sort of like
what the heck? Where's it go?
Your combat.
I remember I did that.
Your combat
Sorry,
style should
we
be.
did it yesterday, but I swear I put it on yesterday, but it changed. Remember we did shield. So sorry guys, give me a sec.
Is it under your magic bit?
We did talk about combat styles because I think it's got. I think I said you've got shield melee, shield thrown. Oh, a shotgun. That was the
Yeah.
one you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, I put that in. I
Shotgun.
swear. Yesterday.
Okay, so listen.
Okay, I'll do it now, really quick. I'm going to.
Well, hang on. Why don't we? Because it's past. Why don't we take our break there, and then Banner could get his combat skills sorted out, and then when we come back, we'll roll. We'll see what happens to that shot, and then we'll roll initiative to everybody to spring into action. Depending what happens, Rabbit, you will not be acting until you're brought back to consciousness.
Wouldn't you wear off quicker on him with his faster metabolism?
Well, it's a hypermetabolism, but I don't know if that's for pheromones and thinking about cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Yeah, I will have a look at it while we're away. I'll have a look at it. Okay, people.
I can regenerate.
But it's a good point, Misty. I'm interested what it might do, and what it might be that we use like a boost for that, to be added later on. But I will check it up when on our break. So it's 25-2, so we'll be back at 10-2. Okay, so 10 to the hour. So go off, grab yourself something to eat and something to drink, and we'll be back at 10-2. Okay, 10 to the hour. Okay, and we'll see you right then. And I will go AFK for this.
A fast shield.
Yes, you do have a fast shield. Yeah. So
Doesn't the pizza delivery guy in Something About Mary have a Honda Civic?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going for. Is
see now I have no idea why everybody's laughing. So. Okay, back to the game. Back to the game. Yes, Banner, you need to roll your combat skill.
All right. Let's see if I am successful.
So you've tried to beat. Oh yeah, yeah. So you put your shield up, and she fires her pistol. So you sort of like rip the door open and throw it to one side, and you look back. And as you look back, you see her bring up her pistol, and you use like that, and the shield sort of goes. And just sort of like bounces off it at that point. And now don't forget to click onto your characters, your tokens, because now we need some initiative.
Okay, let me do it.
I think, hang on. What did I just need to get rid of these old ones. If you want to roll your initiative now, in any case, Rabbit, and then we know what you've got in future.
I only rolled a 2.
What's
I got one of my low rolls here.
Is that low?
Yeah, I got a 2 plus, 21.
That's ridiculous.
I need to.
I was like, I've got 13. Oh,
it's like a D&D character. That I got a 2. That's 28 to hit. Yep. Okay. Mine is 9. Plus 16 makes 25. I think. Right, let's sort this out. So
her name's Ecstasy.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
You can just pop her in your mouth.
Is that rude?
No.
Is it?
You know what? One of on my Twitch channel has that bit Medivac when I say, "Meanwhile, back at Grandma's hole,"
No.
and you just go hole, burst out laughing, and Mr. Pickle says, "Oh, Grandma." It's just like
It makes me laugh.
it's just so funny. Okay then, Mr. Pickle saying, "Oh, Grandma," and I think Chuggerwugger just shuts its eyes when it.
It does.
So ecstasy goes first, and she's going to fire off her pistol at you. So you'll be able to parry with a shield if you want to use an action, of course. Her skill is 68, by the way. So she hits. Do you wish to use up an action parry?
I thought that's what the shield was.
The shield, you can now parry the attack with it, so you're using it to block the pistol shot coming into you.
Yes, what the 86 was.
Does it ward location as well?
Oh no, this is a new round, Banner.
Oh, okay. I got it. Okay.
Can you see?
Time.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
she has so it does naturally ward location. So if Banner chooses not to parry with it, i.e. not to use up the action, then I would just roll a 1d20 to see where it hit, and if that is passively blocked, then it would automatically miss. So 73. So the second shot ricochets off your shield that has materialized, and we move Rabbit. You now have, because we've had time, you need to roll your willpower, and you just need to roll a successful willpower to shrug it off.
And I probably can't use my passion of want to go fast.
Correct.
Dang it.
Let's see where you put your points.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have to dip into the old luck point bank.
Oh no!
I do want to go fast, by the way.
So you
side passion.
You sort of like suddenly stop and look around, and you seem to be gazing off, and you remember something about Banner picking you up and holding you baby-like in his arms, and then putting you gently down. And apart from that, you can almost like smell cheeseburgers at that point. And Misty, we come to you.
Hearing the gunshots go off, I am going to come down to the rear of the helicopter where the doors are open.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send a blast of, a blast through the door. It's a water blast.
Yeah, cool. So that'll be your action. So you can do a quick move. So that would be fine to come down. So water blast away.
This hits. Oh no.
You sort of like come down, and it doesn't use up any power, doesn't it?
No.
It's just you sort of like land, and you probably go to blast, but then you can see Banner in the way who's blocking, and just sort of like think,
pull it to one side.
Pull it to one side, and you can either spray it over the grass or down the side, but you notice that the water hits the side of the helicopter and comes off Banner. There's a shower in front of you, and then Banner, you're up on 12.
Banner, angry that I've been shot twice, is going to bring back his shield and see if he can hit her with his shield.
So roll your combat skill.
See if I can again kick some.
I think what was missing, and I suddenly realized it's my combat cards. Was that? Hang on, just let me put these up, because this is how I have to track my action. That's a hit.
Okay.
She's going to try to evade it by throwing herself off to one side. Her evade is, just so you know, is a 73.
Oh my.
Which she does. So you go in and you try to whack her with the shield, and she just launches herself off to one side. She's now prone. And off to one side. So you can actually, Banner, on your next action, actually get in if you wish. We
Okay.
come up to the top of the round, and turn 2. Ecstasy uses her action to get up, and Rabbit, you're up.
So she's inside of the helicopter still.
Correct.
And is this probably the point where I'm aware of what's going on, or do I need to roll
Yeah, so
perception to become
you
aware?
it only takes a quick action, a free action, to turn around and see what happens. So you can see Banner with his shield out in front of the door. Misty is probably landed, I'm thinking, a little bit behind Banner in order to blast in. And
Indeed.
you, just as you turn round, Rabbit, you see a woman that looks rather like a secretary dive off to one side towards the back of the helicopter.
Okay, I don't know if this is possible, but I want to use sort of 2 boosts. Because one of them, the one I figure I want to use speed charge first off.
Yeah.
To dive in there as quick as I can. It makes her evade or parry one grade harder. But it's probably not good for a standard charge, which is why I want to leverage my parkour boost that lets me grab onto things and dive around more easily. Would I be able to use those to do a speed charge?
Okay. So let's just think. What are any of those skill based, or are they just powers?
They're boosts, and this is what I have.
Okay, so yes, so I can see from the parkour you have to make an unmodified acrobatics or check to climb or descend normal speed. So what I'm going to say is that you're going to do that because I'm thinking you need to get in this door past hulking Banner. So you sort of like come up and you might even leap in, or you almost like leapfrog over Banner. If you get it, if you're successful, you'll be able to do your attack. If you're not successful, you will be in there, but you'll be prone as you try to get past Banner. You might click your foot and he brings you down. So yeah. So which one are you going for, acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics. I gotta show that I'm just as strong as Banner, even though it's clear I'm not.
Yeah, so it just needs to be a successful
I
roll.
have faith in you.
It's not
Yeah.
opposed or anything.
Thanks, Banner.
Oh.
Thanks, Banner.
Yeah, so you go up and Banner's sort of like down like this, and you just sort of like put your hands on his broad shoulders and sort of like through vault over him and land in, and you can see Ecstasy there. She has a gun in her hand, and so you will now get, you now do you take 2 power points, don't you?
Yes, I wanted to take off those 2 points so that I can
Yeah.
I don't need to spend any additional points. I just want to make it harder for her to
Yeah.
deal with me.
Okay then. So therefore you have an attack, don't you?
Yes, and I guess I probably don't have time to get my extendable quarterstaff out. So it'll probably have to be a punch to the face.
Yeah.
Well, unless I can disarm her. Can I disarm as a...
Yes, because you can get a special.
Okay, yeah, then I'm punching to...
So you're
break her
using
wrist.
you're using unarmed combat, yeah?
Correct. Because my other style is only quarterstaff and clubs. Punch!
I'm just seeing what her unarmed is. Her unarmed is 70%.
But it is at hard.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Just wait, because I can do this. I'm at a hard, aren't I?
Yes, I've made you 1 grade harder.
So let's just make. I'm not going to change the roll. So my roll
That'd be
is
pretty embarrassing if you got better.
My-
bringing that up.
my I just want to know. So my unarmed is 70. Oh, I can tell you it's not going to hit. I know it's not, but hang on, let's just see what the hard would be. The hard would be 47. So yeah, I fail and altogether. So you will have a special.
Okay, I want to use disarm. Definitely, I
Oh,
want to
that's right.
slap her wrist. I'm going for a wrist attack just so that I ruin her theoretical typing because I'm just making assumptions, I guess, about secretaries
Right.
here.
So you go to try to disarm. I think I get a. Trying to find.
Yeah, I'm gonna disarm with this arm.
Yeah. So you do you want to roll your hit location first, because then we do
That might
some
help.
damage as well. Combat roll
20.
versus.
Right in the leg, right leg.
Okay then.
The
So-
limb she's using to hold it.
Yeah, she's actually holding it in her foot. Like what's the like the blue beast guy?
Mystique.
Oh yes, Mystique could be doing that as well. Okay then.
The blue
So-
beast guy, I think his name is just Beast.
Yeah, his name's Beast.
Oh, right. I thought he had a name.
No, it's literally just Beast.
I think maybe Sir Beast. I don't know.
Nightcrawler is blue, and he's like thinner, and I think he has like
Doesn't
funny
he-
feet.
Doesn't he
he's
have a
failed to
real
buy guns.
name?
The blue scientist
Hank-
guy.
Yeah,
is just
he
Beast.
does. It's like
Yeah.
Hank
Hank McCoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hank
McCoy, yeah.
McCoy. That's what I was
yeah.
trying to think of. Well, I wasn't, but I'm going with that. So I have to make target makes a combat style roll check against your roll. If I failed, the weapon is flung. Okay, then.
Ooh.
So my combat style. Oh, I've got it in now, so I can use the sheet. What was your original roll?
29.
Yeah, she actually makes the roll, so she's not actually disarmed.
Is this one at hard though? Still,
What's it?
or is the hard only for your parry?
Let's have a look. Is this due to your
Speed charge.
speed charge?
Oh yeah, I guess I could have just scrolled up.
They can make.
Oh yeah, I guess it's only the evade or parry.
Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah, so this one I don't get disarmed. However, you could use your luck and change my roll to a 96.
I'm allowed to do that to you?
Yeah.
How long have I been playing this?
Oh no, I would have to re-roll. Sorry, I have to re-roll. But you can get me to re-roll with a luck
Okay,
point.
yeah, reroll. Go ahead and reroll.
Okay, I'm just hoping.
This isn't gonna help too much, but who knows? That's
a
my
great
second
roll.
luck.
69.
Hey!
Yeah, lucky. Yeah, two fat ladies, 88. The gun is, the pistol is knocked to one
I'm
side.
so glad you've got the rabbit foot in your pocket.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, that's what it originally was called, though. It wasn't called Lucky. It was called Rabbit's Foot, and that's why Rabbit originally had it.
Yeah. So you hit me. So you knock the you disarm them and then hit my leg as well. So do some damage to my leg. That would be a good thing to do.
I don't think I have a hand equipped. Is there any weapons? I think I need to add punch. Does anybody know offhand what punch or slappies do?
How do you pick things up?
1d3.
1d3 is what it normally.
Yeah.
Plus your damage modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I got it. I think I can roll it now.
Punch and Slappy. is
1
the
point.
name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it.
I don't have a damage bonus. I'm I'm not big, but I'm very fast and I regenerate.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
And
okay.
I disarmed her. That was the goal.
Yeah, so tell
I'll
me
say.
what I'm interested about is your maneuver now. Tell me your maneuverability that got you from
He goes over and slaps her on the wrist and no.
yeah.
I hit her in the leg. That's the thing, is I didn't go for the wrist. So I just launched in there, using a Banner's arm probably to like barrel in, and then I just go smack her right in the knee, right in the kneecap. It's one of those ones that doesn't actually do a lot of damage, but it's really painful.
A bit
and
like
that's
a
when she
dead
probably,
leg.
like,
I feel that's gonna hurt
Exactly.
you a lot. That's you're hitting a bone.
well,
Yeah.
I'm not that strong. I lunge in and I hit at the right angle to give her like a dead leg for half second, and it's like the reaction as she throws the gun.
Got you.
It's like
Yeah.
suddenly just startled more than anything.
She drops the gun because you don't have a modifier, so it's not flying anywhere. But
Valid.
you do drop and that's all on 23. Okay, Misty, you're up.
Sorry, I got a nut in my mouth.
Pistachio.
No, dry roasted.
Oh, nice.
Right, again. So she's there, Rabbit's running and just slapped her on the knee.
Yeah,
So I'm going to again chuck a water blast at her.
yeah, nice.
Which again, because the rabbit's movement as she runs past me distracts me slightly.
Yeah.
And then see rabbit going to combat, I've got to pull my water out the way because I don't want to hit her.
Can I just say that I am playing that Misty's water is
It's not golden.
it
Sorry, Trump.
I don't
Not golden.
what I'm going to say is that it's like superhero water. So
Yeah.
it's not filling up the inside the helicopter at the moment. You know, it just sort of like blasts and evaporates.
No. I mean, I can change it to armor piercing, so it's definitely not normal water.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. There'll be like little tridents coming out of it then. Are you doing anything else, Misty?
No, I'm just going to wait here and observe.
Okay then. Banner.
Banner, angry that he missed for the first hit, he's gonna go again, jump up, and then go for the second hit.
Okay, so you're going inside the helicopter now.
Yeah.
Okay, so from now on, any attacks inside the helicopter are 1 grade higher because of the limited movement. That includes her attacks as well. Okay, so you want, Shin, are you hitting with shield or fist or what?
I'll hit with shield.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So roll your to hit.
This is so
Combat
it's gonna be
style,
a hard roll.
Yeah. Oh, you should.
But it don't matter. It don't matter.
Okay, I have no action points left, so I can't parry it or evade it or anything. So you will actually get 2 specials. Okay, you'll get 2 specials. She is currently she has no actions left at all.
My mission, honestly, is just to knock her out.
Okay, so you could do. Hang on, I'm just.
I was thinking like full damage, but knockout.
Bash, bash, bash.
Yeah, so you could do. I'm just grabbing, so I know. I can't remember. We just get my page.
Choose location, max damage.
Yeah, that I
That's
was.
what I'm thinking. Head max damage, but
Are they both? Let's just do it. I'm not going to try to find it at this point. I don't want to spoil the flow. So choose location and max damage will be fine. So what's going to be your location?
Probably if I'm trying to knock her out, it's gonna be the head. But I'm not. That's not supposed to be lethal damage. It's supposed to be.
No,
Gotcha.
it won't kill her.
Force.
So maximize damage is on a critical success. So that's absolutely fine. We can remember that. And what was the other one that you
Aim for those max damage and choose location head.
choose location? Let's see whereabouts that is. The choose location is just a normal one. Okay, then so head, and you do max damage. So what's your normal attack?
So it's 1d10 plus my damage modifier was 1d10.
Okay, then so your attack, your max damage, your attack does 10. That's your max damage, and then you need to roll 1d10 because you actually roll your damage modifier. So the 10 is the max damage.
17 damage to the face.
Yeah. Oh, yes, she's still up. No, she's not. Yeah. So tell me, is this like a hook, or do you just go straight out and go bang?
I think I want to imagine I have the shield like kind of flat face and I just smack it against her face.
Yeah, I do. She sort of like goes poof, and she sort of like sways for a while, and then collapses onto the floor. Yeah, she definitely looks like she's out for the count. Yeah, what would you like to do, people, next?
Check on Jack Stone.
Yes.
Yeah, okay then. So,
And secure the pistol.
okay, so let's who's going to be checking on Jack Stone?
I guess me.
Okay.
I'm going to go try and find the pilot.
Oh yes. Well, okay. So you sort of like head off to who's just like wandering, but you could probably conjure up a cloud to sort of like float after him. Roll your first aid, Rabbit.
All right, I'm an expert.
You are pretty much of an expert. Okay, you notice that he's still strapped in. It doesn't look like she's been able to do anything to him. You figured that she might have been trying to do something as Misty conjured up the cloud. So in a little bit of a flashback, as Misty was coming up and the helicopter was veering off towards the park, she had actually brought out the pistol in order to shoot Jack Stone. But Misty conjured up the cloud, and then the helicopter became erratic. There was a bit of a fight inside, but Ecstasy managed to seduce the police officer, and that's when it landed, and that's when it did. So due to Misty's cloud, it was actually saved Jack Stone from a nasty bullet that would have killed him. Apart from that, he seems absolutely fine. Misty, you find the pilot, and he seems to be shaking it off as you arrive, so you don't need to blast him with water or anything like that. Banner, what would you like to do?
I'll probably tie up the with her ecstasy, try to tie her up a bit, and then maybe put something around her mouth so she can't speak.
Yeah,
like a piece of cloth.
Yeah, you can. Is anybody calling law enforcers?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably like an ambulance service or something.
Yeah, well, you can probably call the emergency call service. And you do notice that your cop alert are flashing that a helicopter has just gone down in the park, in the main park in downtown. So there's not a huge amount of people around here at all. And the law enforcers, you call the call center and they send out to you ambulance drivers, paramedics, and the police out there. And you sort of like, the pilot comes back and the actual helicopter is not damaged or anything like that. So they suggest that they actually continue to take Jack Stone to Metro District Hospital if that's okay with people. And if that's happening, what are you three doing? Is anybody traveling in the helicopter with them? Are you going back to your base? What are you going to tell the police about the young lady that you've got tied and gagged in a helicopter? What's going to be plan of action with?
Well, my thoughts are, if Rabbit and Banner go in the helicopter, I would quickly go back to my house, change, get in my car, get my driver to take me to the hospital as quick as possible.
Oh, and appear
Yeah.
at Miss Sampson.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
While that happens, I'll speak to the police. This woman here was using her Second Amendment right, which is very important, but she did wrongly in that she was trying to murder people. So
She used what, sorry?
here you go. Her Second Amendment right.
Don't know what that.
She was shooting me. So.
Oh, right.
It's the gun rights, but we're not in America, so it doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense to me. All I know is that at times you can plead the fifth.
And we have the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
It sucks
just
because we can't.
I'll just roll my sleeves up then. Then I'm bearing arms.
But I'll point out to all the cops. But you guys, all of you are the true heroes, and that's what matters the most. Of course, you're not as strong or as effective, or honestly, you're quite slow. But nonetheless, you are the true heroes.
You're like
Keep that in mind.
Hancock. You're like Hancock, aren't you? Go say, good job. Good job. If you've seen Hancock, the film, I like that.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, so they sort of like take ecstasy, for want of a better word, and sort of like
Get
hustle
crazy.
her into a police van and take her off, and she's being processed. And Banner and Rabbit, you ride protecting Jack Stone to Metro District Hospital. And
On the way there, I'll probably ask Rabbit. So what happened to you back there, Rabbit? You seem very confused and dazed.
Well, and Rabbit's not thrilled with this plan, so she's probably like gripping her seat
Yeah.
very, very tensely.
because you
not
are
able-
trapped in this helicopter.
Well, she didn't speak up until now, so she's just been like sitting there and like slowly turns to you like, did I seem different?
and
I felt really good back down on Earth.
And the pilot of the helicopter says, could you please strap yourselves in? We're going to be hitting a bit of turbulence.
Oh, I'll be
I'm
fine.
good.
I'll just say I smashed some metal right here and just like hold on to it.
Why are you grabbing the metal? You shouldn't be grabbing the metal like that. It's not supposed to be grabbed.
Roll your need to go fast. Or is there another one? Do you have?
I have a limit where I need to go fast, but I have a passion that I want to go fast.
Yeah, that's the one that you need. Well, yeah. So you're sort of like shaking and getting rather panic attacking. Banner, you see her. She even wants to undo her seat belts and things. And what would you like to do?
How is it
Calm
tied in
down,
knots?
Rabbit.
There's no knots.
Calm down, Rabbit. Don't worry, we'll be there soon.
And the helicopter goes boom like that as it hits a bit,
Oh, dang.
a bit of turbulence, and you managed to get to the hospital, and I think you're going to easily remove it, but you probably got 2 levels of fatigue.
She probably threw up like several meals.
So, yeah, so the inside of the helicopter, the pilots are sort of, oh, I gotta clean that. As she brings back several cheeseburgers. And yeah, so you arrive at the helicopter, and Rabbit, you probably go on a fast run around, and shortly after, Misty arrives. Misty and Rabbit, can you please decide? Can you one of you swap round your names? So if you could have either your superhero name and then your real name in brackets, or the opposite way around. Can you see? Because it's confusing me when I look at.
I'll change mine.
No, I'll change mine.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'll change
mine.
No.
No.
Okay, fine. I'll put it back.
And Banner, do
brackets.
you have a
So
normal?
you're changing yours then? No, I'm joking. I'll change mine.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna do it.
So in your title, it say Banner. Then in brackets, put your alias.
John Americanson.
It is gonna be John. Sure, John.
Mansmith.
Wait.
I want to do like John Johnson.
No.
Son of John.
Have you got one? Yeah. Okay, then. Let me just make sure that.
Yeah, I have an idea when we get there.
What are you going to call it?
Why is mine not changed?
It will do. It just takes a little bit of time for it to pick up. I find that what I need to do is change it. It will do first. Let me just save that. And I don't think anybody's has changed at the moment. Let me change it to go long. Then change it back to Misty.
Okay.
That's it. Banner, have you changed yours?
I'm looking for a good last name. That's
All
not
right.
just
Okay.
Johnson.
Then. I'll leave it like that.
John Morgan.
So yes. So Misty, you arrive.
John Joe.
You arrive at District.
No, I don't. Sophia.
Miss Sampson, yeah,
Yes.
arrives at Metro District Hospital. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Where do you want me to put? Sorry, where do you want me to put the name?
Banner, and then in brackets.
Oh, brackets. Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
So you don't call them. You call them brackets. Okay.
Yeah.
Not parentheses. Mr. Pickles is gone. Has he just gone now?
He had to run for lunch. He's back. See how fast that was.
Just went for a 5K run, and now
Yeah, it was just quick.
have you changed it, Banner? Yeah. Oh yes,
Yeah.
you have. Okay. Then. So what I need to do is change it to 1 and save it, and then change it back to John Morgan. And there you go. Done. Okay. Yes, Miss Sampson, what's going to be your plan of action? I'm going to fast forward time a little bit. So to say that Jack Stone's awake.
Yes.
So was there anything you wanted to do before he woke up or not?
No.
Okay.
It's a case of just going into the hospital, find out where he is, and going up to the room.
Yeah. So he seems to be in a very private room, and Banner and Rabbit are outside. There also seems to be a police officer, law enforcement agent that actually came when they got ecstasy back. And he came over because they knew you were in the helicopter, to give you an update on who this woman is. and they have it on their records actually as Lucy May. That is her name, Lucy, and her surname is May. Of course, the secretaries, Jack Stone's real secretary was not called Lucy May, but she
May Lucy.
Yeah, so this is Lucy May. So yes, Miss Sampson, you're in the room with Jack Stone.
Hello, Mr. Stone. I've come here as your legal advice about what was going on. Apparently you're trying to jump off a building.
And he sort of like looks you up and down and to try to see whether or not he recognizes you as one of his legal teams. Roll your influence.
Oh my goody God. I will use a point of luck on that.
Yeah. And so
yeah,
versus,
yeah,
to 27.
Yeah.
And Jack Stone sort of says, I didn't think we had anyone as beautiful as you on my legal team, but I'm pleased that you are on it.
Oh, no. Why, thank you.
Did I say something rude?
Mr. Stone?
I didn't say something.
It's just a bit me too.
Oh, right. Yeah. And he sort of like says, so, did you say your name, Mr.
I did. I'm
he says,
Sophia Sampson.
So, Miss Sampson, what am I doing in Metro District Hospital?
Well, according to these two fine heroes here, who's
you look out and there's this banner and rabbit peering through the little
they were hired by you, and they were responding to a call on the COP about you trying to jump off a building. So Rabbit, I think she's called, actually saved you and dragged you away from the edge, which is very good.
Miss Sampson, all this is a blur to me.
Yes, apparently you were injected or ingested or a suggestive.
Yeah. The last thing.
But we thought that anyway. And then we've just been informed that these two here arrested a young lady called Lucy May, who had the power to manipulate people's minds and make them more suggestive.
At that moment, using his insight and gaining a successful role, he actually pauses for a moment. He says, that's the last thing I remember. Lucy May begging for her job back.
So she actually did used to work for you?
Yeah. Not as good as what her references said. We had to let her go.
I whispered to Rabbit, what's the run? Oh, sorry. What's the run with jumping off buildings? I jump off buildings all the time.
Rabbit's just gonna shake his head repeatedly and then snap down to the cafeteria for a second meal.
Well, I imagine you pressing all the buttons on a vending machine as quickly as you can. So there's like chocolate coming out. Jack Stone says to you, Miss Stone, he sort of says, yeah, she wanted her job back. She wasn't as good. I really did think her references were, well, shall we say, falsified.
Really? Do you have her references, or well, not to hand, obviously, because you're not.
Yeah. He goes, yes.
Yeah. I keep them everywhere. I'll call by your office when you're up and around and pick those up. I wouldn't mind having a look at them myself.
And he talks about Lucy May, and he sort of like says that when she came into the office, she was mumbling about revenge and getting her own back. And he says she said strange things like, I couldn't do this before, but now I have the power to make you pay. And Jack Stone says, I thought she was on about cash. But then suddenly she smiled and winked at me. And that was the last thing I can remember.
Really? And she's never exhibited these powers before when she worked with you. So it's something she's recently come by.
To be honest with you, Miss Sampson, she didn't exhibit much at all while she was here. She was low grade, filing, typing. The typing speed was, frankly, way below acceptance. She was somebody who was trying to climb the ladder of success. Unfortunately, she had very little aptitude for it. To be honest with you, she should have been a cleaner, I think.
Oh, Mr. Stone.
Please
We've all
call me
got-
Jack.
Mr. Stone. As I was saying, people have to try to achieve the best of what they can. And if they don't try, and if they fail on the way, they know they can't do it. But if you don't try, you'll never know.
Yeah, she was certainly.
I would not be where I am today without perseverance, sacrifice, and a damn good brain.
I see. You have a very good brain,
I'll
Miss
just
Sampson.
snap in half. Can he drown in his bed? Anyway, Mr. Stone, I'm here because.
Do you need to roll insight to know what he might be suggesting?
I don't think I do.
I think roll it to see whether or not you do notice that he's trying to hit on you.
I would have thought that.
No, you
haven't a Scooby.
Scooby.
I would have thought it'd be an easy role for her because she's probably had this all the way through her career.
Yeah, but not with somebody as charismatic as Jack Stone.
Okay. Yeah.
You're normally working with. Do you work with people who have been
the lower end of the spectrum.
Yes, yeah. So you would not normally work for somebody.
No, I'm a criminal lawyer, so
yeah.
So
how long, Miss Sampson? How long have you been with us, or is this your first case?
My first case.
You chose well.
Well, I aim to be going up in the world. So yes, as I was saying, the police were to press charges.
I can just see Banner still peering through the door. He said, "Say what, Miss Sampson?"
The police wanted to press charges for you trying to jump off a building, waste of police time, that sort of thing. I think, but I've calmed them down anyway. But you hired apparently these two heroes here and a third to do something about. They were telling me, split my mind. Some drug.
Miss Sampson, stick to your case.
I'm just wondering if these two cases are linked. Your strange behavior, Miss Lucy May's new abilities, which seem to mimic the battle drug that they were saying.
Well, your influence, and I'm going to oppose it with my willpower of 54, just so you know. Ooh, I win.
So close.
So close, but he just says, Miss Sampson, just stick to your case, and I'll stick to mine.
Certainly, Mr. Stone.
Anything else?
No, that'll be all. Do you have the last known address of Lucy May. Will that be? Would your secretary be able to give that to me?
Talk to my secretary, Miss Sampson.
Oh,
I feel that I need to rest now.
yes, you certainly look like you need it, sir.
Thank you. Sort of like back on the hospital bed.
As Sophia walks by me, I want to like look at her. Like, has anyone ever told you look like my friend Misty?
What? Let me just roll. Let me just roll. Let me just roll a perception of the 4 doctors and 2 nurses that stood nearby.
Critical perception.
Let's see what it goes. Oh! Yeah, so
it's my nightclub name.
What would you all like to do now? There seems to be a police guard stood outside.
Is it the same number as the ones I clocked?
No.
No. Right. Okay. Because I do think they're worth chasing up.
Yeah, so you know where one of them walked off, but nobody went after that
No,
person.
I did that on purpose.
You're cruel. And so yeah, you will be able to, if you saw them again, I would tell you that the badge number, so don't worry about that. Yes, so what's going to be the plan? You're still at the hospital. Of course, Jack Stone does know Rabbit, Misty, and Banner. If you would like to go in and talk to him to bring him up to speed, or is there anything else that you would like to?
Do you really think Banner is the best person to bring Jackson up to speed?
I think Rabbit might do it.
He better.
No.
Rabbit talks a lot, but people don't really listen.
That's true. That means I've got to go all the way back and fly back in again.
Or go to a bathroom and change.
Well, come on, my bag of clothes. I never worked it out.
Well, I wondered whether or not, like Wonder Woman turned round or something like that, whether or not, it'd be interesting to know how you change, whether or not you slip into some tight lycra or...
Lots of falling over.
Yeah, or or do you pour a bucket of water over you, or do you just try and...
My clothes are just water. I'm just concentrating really hard.
And then if you're out as Miss Sampson in the rain, you automatically just change. It'd be worth giving it some thought. So we know.
I do think that she would have her outfits underneath.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just literally just change that way. But
you could probably stash your old stuff in the toilet cistern, or
that's right, flood the place up,
or something like that. So so you all
in the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yes.
Well, to be fair, if my car's here, I just go down to my car and change, leave the stuff in there.
Yeah. Do you have tinted windows?
Yes.
Nice.
Lawyer, yeah, she can afford the tinted window upgrade.
Have you seen my house?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, so you all go back into Jack Stone's bed chamber, into his hospital hospital bedroom, and you all go up. So, Misty, you're probably the person who's going to do
the face
talking. Can you let me know what information you're going to give him?
We'll explain about the warehouse.
Yeah. The reason I'm asking is to see whether or not you need to do a deceit roll.
Oh no, we'll be,
if you're telling fibbies.
We'll be honest about what we've found, because we've been paid to, haven't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's our job. So that'll be the situation. We'll explain about what we found at the warehouse, about the gangers that were hanging around there. And they were literally just telling, but the fact that it was empty, wasn't it? It'd been completely abandoned, and that's why there was gadgets
Apart
around.
from files, yeah.
Yes, apart from files. And
Okay.
then we'll
Yeah.
bring up to speed on the fact that who we thought was his secretary wasn't his secretary, and was trying to kill him. And unfortunately, and I apologize, I thought she was your secretary, so I put her in the helicopter with you. And then we had to find the helicopter, and Banner and Rabbit managed to subdue her and save you, which was very brave of them.
Very, very brave. He asks, well, what do you think? What power did she have?
She seemed to have a very strange effect, like pheromones, suggestibility, be able to alter one's perception
Got yeah.
to and make them more susceptible to do what she said. I mean, I heard her say to the pilot, "Go," and he just got out of the cab and walked, and just continued to walk.
He sort of like says, "Glad you people were around to save me."
She also had the power to shoot a gun at
It's
me.
true. It's very true.
That is quite normal, Mr. Banner.
Yes.
Being a soldier,
Yes.
you would know this, ex-soldier. So, apart from the suggestive powers, was there anything else you found at the lab? If you do remember, if you took notes at the time, if you remember, there was 2 different kinds of folders.
Yeah, there was the strong and dangerous, and the ones that got psionic influence, as well as a bunch of mugshots and personal information on like orphans and people with no family, like street people disappearing.
Yeah.
So we concluded that there was likely some people perhaps forcibly experimented on, or I concluded that to myself quietly.
And don't forget, Rabbit, about the nervous agent.
Yeah, these are the nerve agents. This is what we're talking about. The research that we found is the nerve agents. We found 2 types of folders, and they got all these different nerve
2
agents.
types.
They were taking people off the streets, weren't they? They were like you said, there were photos of initial, mid, and death.
Yes, and a lot of smashed glassware on the floor.
Yeah.
So, are you telling Jack Stone that there's another possibility out there?
Yes, the fact that it's possibly moved elsewhere as well, and there's another variation of this.
And the second variation is all to do with
psionics, wasn't it? Was it psionic?
One was
that's
Sorry?
The one we haven't told him about or experienced is strong and dangerous. A lot of aggression.
That's yeah.
See.
Sorry, I've got no notes from the first session. Sorry, it's in another book.
He sort of like says, it maybe there might be some other people out there then that may be even having the same power, or maybe this strong and dangerous type.
Now, Misty, do you think that woman used her powers to trick Rabbit? To go off and do random things?
She didn't trick me. She
Silly Rabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Interesting thought though, Banner. Do you think that woman took one of these experimental drugs and gained these powers?
I imagine Jack Stone is in his bed and Banner's talking into Rabbit and he's just going, as you sort of like talk to each other. So it might be that we could have an epidemic on our hands, do you think?
I would possibly think that is true. If it's money involved, people will sell to anybody.
Well, what was the success rate? Did it seem from the papers that many people had these powers?
I think my notes suggest that you had said it was like a 10% survival rate.
Yeah, it was very low. There was a lot more deaths.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should get to the bottom of this, figure out what's going on, really figure out what's going on with this EpiPen.
Just as you're talking, there's a knock at the hospital door, and there's it opens, and there seems to be like a nurse, not a medical nurse, probably some kind of hospital orderly or something like that. She seems completely legit, and she has a bouquet of flowers. The flowers in one of those boxes, so it has the box and a lovely flower arrangement. And she sort of like comes in and says, "Excuse me, Mr. Stone, these have just been delivered for you." And Jack says, "Oh, those are really nice. Bring them over here."
One second. Well, don't take them over there, please. Banner, do you want to check out the box, please?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
Banner,
jump
go
in
to
the
the
way
box.
really fast to stop her from making progress, even though she
Yeah.
can probably barrel over me. Buying him time.
I'll walk over and see if I can offer my hands for her to give me the box.
And please do turn away from Mr. Stone.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, so
be
Banner's sort of
Stone.
like,
Yeah.
she's sort of like, you sort of like reach down and pick the thing over. She goes, "Oh my."
This looks like a box for sure. Sturdy.
Yeah, just roll your perception.
Perception is not my best stat. If anything, it's kind of a crappy stat.
Looks fine, Banner.
Very sturdy.
Sniff it,
Cardboard.
Banner. Sniff it.
Banner
Nice.
puts it in his face and licks it.
Oh, this flower smells of C4.
Yeah, it's a nice lily that you've just
Yeah.
licked the pollen off, which is highly poisonous, but
Yeah.
Can I do this though? Because one of my limits is I'm bull in a china shop, and sometimes I have to do like a check, make sure I don't crush things. That would be delicate.
That is correct. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, what check is it?
I have to look it up, but
Hang on, let me.
just to cause chaos.
Is it in your hand strength?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on page
it's
94.
very
I'm a
nice, very
skill.
nice.
Page 94.
The hero has a difficult time controlling their strength. If a skill check is failed while they are holding or manipulating an object, it either breaks or suffers damage as if the hero struck it with an unarmed attack.
Okay then. So let's say make a, because we need to put a check in. Control it if a skill check is failed while they're holding something. So let's how's he's already failed his
Perception, yeah.
Well, that's my point. Is that would be the skill check that he failed?
Yeah,
like,
got ya.
He's looking a little too closely at it or something.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the box, the vase that's inside, and the flowers just go. And Rabbit, you actually see it almost in slow motion.
Can I punch like a little bit? Like do like a quick punch at the dirt?
Yeah, but what, you're going to punch the glass, the vase?
Oh wait, no, I was thinking it was like a potted lily for some reason. No, I'm.
Yeah, so you watch it slowly fall, and everybody hears it crash, and definitely something broken. And Banner, you're just sort of like, and Jack Stone just, you could, Misty, you see him just thinking, "Oh, good grief, did I hire these people?" And he looks over and says, just pass, the nurse, the orderly says, I'll get something to clean that up. And she looks quite sternly at you, Banner, in the sense that you're causing her work. And Jack Stone talks and looks over and says, "Just bring me the card."
I'll reach out for the card.
Yeah, so it's in one of those little envelopes. And on the front, it just says Mr. Stone. It looks like a normal envelope. You sort of like feel it. It doesn't seem to be have any explosives in it. And he sort of, Jack Stone looks over to you and says, "Misty, just give me, it's fine. You do
Mr.
not
Stone,
need to
people have
open
been
my.
trying to kill you for the last
Yes.
day.
I don't think there'll be an assassin inside the little envelope.
How about poison?
He says, "I'm just going."
What
to
if the
open
assassin-
it."
Oh,
Shrink.
okay. I'm gonna give it to him.
And
Oh, here we go.
he opens it up and he sort of like pulls.
Dragon jumps
Oh
out.
no!
He pulls.
Laced with cocaine.
pulls. Do
It's gonna be a
you
good
know?
party.
I
There's a
don't.
really, really, really small horse's head inside.
Yeah, he sort of like pulls the card up and he sort of like looks at it. He almost like reads it and he frowns a bit. And he turns around and he hands it back to you, Misty. And on the card are just a few words. And it just says, "We'll get you next time." And then it's signed, "The Coven."
Ooh.
And that is where we will leave it for tonight. There's no other symbol or anything like that. It just says, "We'll get you next time." And then underneath it says, "The Coven," as in a group of witches.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So we will
But
leave
if
it.
that's on there, that's sorry. If that's on there, that's expecting him to know who the coven is. Otherwise, it would just say, "I'll get you next time." In theory.
I'm not saying. And we're going to.
And you're a little doggy too.
Yeah. Do you know, I heard that on the news this morning that, you know, the deliveries, some people had substitutes, and one of them had ordered something like chicken thighs, and it came back in dog treats. That was the substitute that they actually gave them, which was amazing. Okay, yes, we will leave it there. So we'll pick this up next time, right in this spot when you have read this, Misty, and it might be an opportunity to see what Jack Stone actually knows about this and what might be happening. And of course, still out there could be some people with aggression, filled with aggression and super strength.
He's in this hospital room with us.
Yeah, it's Banner. Yeah, Banner.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait for that battle, Banner. Strength against strength. It'll be a brawn check as we grapple to the floor. I tell you, it's going to be brilliant. Okay, thank you very much for coming along.
He is a commie.
Oh, Banner. Oh, you.
Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's session. Thank you so much for coming along. Medivac, when's your next game coming up?
Sorry, the Monday at 7:15 is Call of Cthulhu, and Thursday is Dungeons and Dragons at 7:15.
And you're back alive.
I'm back at God's alive.
So yeah, so you're back in action. Mr. Pickles, tell us about your podcast.
Yes, I have a podcast called "And I Took That Personally." It's on Apple, Apple Podcasts,
Apple
it's on
Podcasts.
Spotify. It's on Anchor, which is now fully part of Spotify, so that's irrelevant. It's myself and my friend Brad talking about movies, and the last episode was from this month. It's called Mazes and Monsters. It's just we talk about the movie Mazes and Monsters, the history behind it, and why D&D will make you suicidal. All sorts of fun things. We just goof about. We make horrible noises with our mouths. And I wasn't in charge of editing for the last episode, so that's why you hear horrible things.
Really? I'm going to have to listen to this just to
But you
hear the.
listen to them anyway.
Well,
Well,
I do.
it depends what film it is. I will check. I have it favorited. I will listen to it. I don't think Mr. Pickles listens to my podcast.
I actually have a job now where I am listening to more things, and so before it was like,
Do you listen?
know.
Do you listen to Mythos Matters?
I have listened to a number of the episodes, but I haven't been.
How many? There's been 44.
I'm pretty sure I watched the first 8 because I was listening in order.
I was in an episode and I
But
haven't listened to the episode.
Really? We
Have
you know what
I
happened.
need to.
Well,
We were all in one episode.
We were.
you were.
Yeah.
1st of April, Mythras Matters comes in, and it's an
Yay.
interview with Chris and Ken, who are both players and DMs, and they talk about their solo adventures. So they each GM for the other, and they play by themselves in that campaign. Does that make sense? So it's just
Yes.
one and one.
Person, yeah.
And what's really exciting, they play Destined,
Ooh.
and they are in the same place. So
Oh.
things that one character does can actually influence the other one. And my favorite bit was, no, I started off the campaign as an owl sat in a tree.
No, Destined is one evil and one good. That'd be even better.
No, they're both heroes. It's really interesting how they've done it, and I've actually, I think it's quite a long episode because they talked about it so much. But I was really intrigued about whether or not you'd how they cope with combat, how do they cope with skills that they haven't got. You know, if you don't have first aid invested, you just never use it, and things like that. But it's a really good episode. It'll come out 1st of April. And it's
Will it?
oh, will it? It could be
April Fool.
April Fool. Yes, but they do talk about Destined a lot, so it's good to do it. Okay, thank you so much for coming along and supporting the stream tonight. We will be back same time next week, fingers crossed, when we'll see whether or not our 3 heroes can unravel the rest of the plot. I will be, remember in UK our clocks go forward tonight, so we're coming back in line, so we will no longer be on GMT time, we will be on BST, British Summer Time. And yeah, I will be around at 9 o'clock to play some more Minecraft, and at 1 o'clock to play some ESO. So do come along and watch this there. And if you've missed any of today's episode, then don't forget it will be on YouTube next week sometime. And you can also find episode 1 and episode 2 there as well. Okay, so until next time, look after yourselves, stay safe and healthy. And it's goodbye from me, goodbye, and it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.